Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing again? Did you miss me? Y'all, let's get into this. Listen, I have a reason why I was not there for the first day of Diddy's child, but baby, let me cook because I'm coming up with something good. But y'all, let's actually get into this. So much has come out between day one and day two of jury selection. We have insider information. Lauren London. Jurors are looking at her. Prosecution and defense are zooming in. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Michael B. Jordan and the way he don't fear God. And baby, I'm here for it. I don't know what happened. Actually, I do know a little bit today. We're going to talk about how Michael B. Jordan's name came up, how he is involved, and how, baby, he might actually be the wild card that either exonerates Diddy or takes him down. On top of that, we're going to talk about all the stuff going on in the Diddy trial. Did you guys know that the judge issued a gag order that none of the lawyers, none of the prosecutors, nobody even representing any witnesses can talk at all to the media? Diddy, who didn't learn from the first time, thought it was cool. He bought in Mark Garagos to try to run some game on the judge. And the judge is sitting there looking at Diddy like, listen, I'm going to need you to wrap this up in 3 to 5 business days because it's not going down the way you think it is. There is so much going on in the Diddy trial. We do know that this is jury selection. It is voir dire. Don't worry, your girl is going to get you guys exclusive content if I have to go there myself. Don't play with me. That gag order is not stopping anybody because, baby, again, we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so where do you guys want to start? First of all, hi, how are you guys? I know I missed the Met Gala yesterday. Don't worry, we are going to do a first reaction live stream today just to have some fun and to key about what actually happened in the Met Gala. There was so much behind the scenes stuff, but y'all ain't come for that. Y'all came for the Diddy stuff. So with no further ado, let's get into all this mess because, baby, when I tell you there is mess going on, Diddy has not stopped and he is still using these low down dirty tricks, but this time the judge is not here for it. If you guys know, we will be covering the trial, Diddy's trial live when it actually starts on the 12th, which is Monday. Just to let you guys know what is going on. Of course, everybody knows it's jury selection. It is void, dear. Diddy is fighting for his life, trying to get people excluded. Okay. One of the messed up things is they are really delving in to the jurors' personal life. They are trying to make it an issue. Anybody that has been abused, anybody that has been touched by whatever, anybody that has done the touching, they are getting in. Why is that so important? A lot of people don't realize Diddy is using this as a plan B. Let's be real. Unless God himself comes down and sits on that trial, not even that, he sends Jesus to sit on that trial and talk to Diddy. That is the only way Diddy is getting out of this, baby. At Southern District of New York had you dead to rights. They took down El Chapo. They took down Jeffrey Epstein. They took down Harvey Weinstein. What is a Sean Diddy Combs? He might be an R&B legend, super producer, but baby, you were going against billionaires and millionaires and people that actually ran the industry and had Congress people, heads of state, presidents in their pocket. Diddy, come on, your money ain't that long. And we see, by the way, Misa is suing Mary J. Blige. Baby, the money train is run out. Everybody is in on this on their own. So anyway, let's get into this, okay? First of all, the voir dire. It is important that everybody, and this is a public service announcement. If you know anybody that is being called, everybody must be 100% truthful. Now, there is big money involved if you are a juror. Hear me out. In high profile cases, there's always big money involved whenever you are a juror, because afterwards you can do talks, you can go on talk shows, you'll be all over the media. And if you write a book about what happened, people will read it. There's a voracious appetite what's happening with Diddy, especially now that there's Amazon and self-publishing. You don't even have to wait for Random House Penguin to actually come up. Okay, so that's the first thing that's going on. Hold on, let me make sure y'all can hear me, because half the time I just be like, and y'all be like, Tisa, we can't hear you. Tisa, where's the volume? All right. Now, there's also other stuff going on, okay? On top of that, the jurors, and it is going to be said, the jurors actually can write books. There's big money. If God sends Jesus to get on that trial and Diddy for whatever reason, okay, is sorry guys, Diddy for Okay, so what's up? Sorry, guys. So Diddy, for whatever reason, in any way, shape, or form, can get off. Baby, these book deals are going to be multi-million-dollar book deals. We saw what happened with Rodney King. We saw what happened with OJ. I'm not saying Diddy is innocent in any way, but we saw what happened. So everybody wants to be on that jury. Usually you got to beg people, threaten people, drag people. Everybody is front and center on that jury. I know I was like, yes, I've heard of Sean Diddy Combs in the past. Why do you ask, right? However, Diddy is hoping that people lie. Diddy is hoping that people's appetite to be in the middle of the mess is so voracious that people will lie about their past instances of DV, abu, all that stuff. And if they lie, what does that mean? It means that if Diddy, because he is going to look into all the jury's background. If they're saying, no, I'm not really involved, and they're like on the burner count talking about Diddy needs to burn in hell. He did it and I hope he burns in hell on Samuel L. Jackson. What does that mean? It means something important. It means that when they find that out, Diddy can declare a mistrial. And anybody knows that a mistrial is one step closer to freedom. On top of that, even if he finds this out later, he can overturn the judgment. More importantly, and this is what Diddy is hoping for, okay? Before, a couple of years ago, Diddy was like, I run this city, send the cops and DA, the feds to come get me. He was doing it, right? Diddy is now trying to say he can't get a fair trial in New York. He wants a change of venue. He wants this in like Arkansas. No shade if you live in Arkansas, but like Arkansas, where he can control the jury. Now, I don't know how much in Trump's country, in Arkansas, that's going to help Diddy. But at this point, he is grasping with straws because get this. If he can prove, one, that jurors are lying, two, that it's been made a media spectacle, which is what he's hoping, right? It's been made a media spectacle. What does that mean? Usually in trials, they don't happen this quick. They are stretched out over like years. Honestly, you get arrested, you do this, you're out on bail, your trial comes up maybe a year or two later. It gives you time to make a defense, but it gives the feds time to do more investigation. Diddy made a bet. Diddy knew that he had so much dirt that he had to beat the feds to the punchline. He realized that he had to run and make them go to the end. Because if he let the feds just conduct an investigation, baby, they might find stuff from Diddy's kindergarten. They might find stuff from Diddy's third grade. They might find when he literally took the little girl's Valentine's gift, pushed her on the floor, and literally tried to bribe people with crayons and trying to have freak. I'm just saying. They say Diddy's been a bad egg for a long time, right? The point of the matter is Diddy made a strategic thing that they would rush the trial, hurry up the government. A lot of the investigations they were going, they didn't have time to complete. The government does not believe in making a fool of themselves. The only time they bring charges are when they are 150% sure that they got you dead to rights. They do not just they don't do fishing expeditions like what Diddy's been doing. So what's that to do with anything? To make a long story longer, right? We're about to get to the point. It was a two-part strategy. Mark Agnifilio convinced Diddy, I'm telling you what we do. We rush the trial, we run the clock out on the feds, and then when we get to trial, we tell the judge, Your Honor, there's too much evidence. We need to pause. The judge looked at them and said, didn't I ask you mofos 11 times over the course of last year whether you wanted to move the trial? And then each time you stood your pale ass up in front of me, Mark Agnifilio, talking about Your Honor, we are sure. Did not Diddy sit there? Now he's trying to look like old man Winter. Literally last year with Young Miami, he was trying to look like a sex symbol, which by the way, was never going to sell. Like you was never the sex symbol, right? You need to put more Tucci in people's Walter Scrape soda. You're a lot of things, Diddy, but you've never been a sex symbol, even though you've been trying to make it work. You literally just last year was trying to talk about the way you and my Young Miami be dipping and diving, slipping and sliding. And now you sitting there trying to look like old man River, a white, all your hair white and your beard white, which by the way, I think he's bleaching it. Shut up, Diddy. People don't just go all white. And we could tell you were salt and pepper maybe. Anyway, he's now trying to look all frail, all old. So when he hobbles into court looking like three blind mice, everybody just covers their eyes. And they're like, how could this man be the person that did all that? Man, shut up. Cue the footage. Cut the bull. Cue the footage. Press play. And you're going to see what Diddy be doing. But anyway, right? So they're like, listen, let's make you look smaller. Let's make you look weaker. Let's not forget when George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin, remember how he tried to like sit there with his like evil self, trying to look like, how could I do this? Shut up, right? Anyway, so Diddy was like, all right, so we'll rush to the trial and then we'll ask. However, the judge was like, didn't I ask you 11 times before I made my summer vacation plans whether or not you would need a thing? And did you not look at my face? And they were like, well, yes, Shana, but we need more time. And the judge literally said the key words that anybody with any type of legal training knows. This trial is a freight train barreling forward. Every time you hear a judge say that, baby, you can come with a leg halfway hanging out. And the judge is going to be like, let's take a 20-minute recess so that the paramedics can come and stitch your leg up, and then we'll see you after the recess, counselor. It means it don't matter if you dying, bring the coffin in. This trial is going to keep going. So Diddy used up his last thing with the judge because he embarrassed the judge. I remember when he embarrassed the judge, right? When he lied and said it said his notes, but then the judge looked into it and the judge made a ruling based off of what Mark Agnifilio told them, that it was privilege and it was type privilege. And then the prosecutors came back 3 days later and was like, Your Honor, did you even bother to look at the evidence? Because nothing was written privilege. What are you talking about? And when the judge looked at Mark Agnifilio and said, you told me it said privilege, because you know how wild it is that somebody won't lie to a federal judge. And Mark Anafilio is like, Your Honor, could have said anything. Anyway, Your Honor, moving on. He tried to sun the judge. He tried to punk the judge. And I said, that was real cute. But when you do stuff like that, it always comes back to bite you. The judge, I believe, you lost. And I'm not saying the judge is being vindictive, but the judge was probably being vindictive. Don't nobody like being made a fool of, especially such a high profile case. And this judge is a younger judge. Granted, they're in their 40s, but when it comes to judges, that's pretty young for a judge. So after that embarrassment, the judge is not giving Diddy an inch to breathe. I'm not saying the judge is being unfair to Diddy. Not at all. The judge is very fair, at least from the rulings, right? He listens, he listens with his ears. He listens and he doesn't judge. However, he is not giving Diddy any grace because you used up that grace in that dumb stunt that Mark Agnifilio was like just being sloppy. Anyway, let me get back on point because there's so much I have to tell you guys. I haven't seen you guys in like 2-3 days. Y'all know I've been sick. Also, y'all know I had to take out the boho goddess dreads on God. I will never get boho goddess locks. The knotless are cool, but if you are considering getting boho goddess locks, please get the knotless on God. I will never do that. When I say I was taking that hair out for 3 days, at one point I thought my hair was dreaded. Don't get the boho goddess locks. Please just get the knotless. It looks the same. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. The girl did a good job on my hair. Still don't do it. Don't do it. Anyway, right? Anyway, so sorry. Listen, there's so much we got to catch on that one. So anyway, let's get back to the Diddy shit. So Diddy was like, yo, let's move this trial forward. We going to rush it, make them tie it up, and then be like, yo, I need 2 months. The judge was like, no. Diddy was like, right? Mark Agnifilio still thinks he has one trick up his sleeve. If he can prove that there is a media circus, if he can prove that there's no way he can get a free trial, a fair trial, if he can prove all this, there's a chance there will be a change of venue. Now, would that jury be more sympathetic to Diddy? I very much doubt that. You can go to Magaland, they ain't doing it. You can go up to Uptown, maybe if you take it up to Uptown, but even then, I don't know, right? The whole point of the matter is, they thought that they're like, yo, we'll just say it's a whole media spectacle, and we'll take it to a media spectacle. And that's why the jury can't be selected fairly. That's why I'm staying out of jury. Whatever. But I got something. I'm cooking something special for y'all. Listen, just rock with me on the 12th. I'm telling you, I'm cooking something special. Anyway, the whole point of the media trial was that they're like, yo, we can't get a fair trial and get a change of venue. If there is a change of venue, of course, it needs to be a change of judge and it needs to go on the calendar, which gives Diddy more time to prepare, but the prosecution does not have more time to bring charges. So they thought they were going to be cute and do that. And Diddy's team is still trying to do this with the coverage that is on the jury selection. Yana, can't be a fair trial. This is what they're hoping, that they find a way to get a change of venue because he can't get a fair trial in New York and he will get, it's not going to work. The legal people I talked to said, first of all, technically, and here's how people mess up with the law. Technically in law, anything is possible. The law is a living, breathing creation of the rules that society agree upon enough to codify them. That's what the law is. That's why slavery used to be legal. Racism used to be legal. Like, used, right? That's why all these things, because it literally is, we all agree so much that we will codify it, okay? The law is not set in stone. Things like that, that's moral law. Our country doesn't believe in moral law. It believes in judicial, which reflects the wills of the people. So, first of all, yes, you can look into any legal argument and be like, oh, we'll do this, this, and this, and this. But Diddy is too dumb or foolhardy to realize that's not the way things work out in the real world. That's not actually what happens in the real world. It's very hard to get a change of venue. And also, Diddy, you are the one that asked for this trial to be rushed forward. You can extend it or could have extended it, but you asked for this trial to be rushed forward. So you know what? That's just on you, Diddy. That's just on you. Anyway, these are Diddy's tricks that's going on. And this is why outside the coverage for the jury, I get it. Everybody get their bag, do what they're doing. I want to know. It's voracious. But we need to be very careful about what we say and do because Diddy's team is looking for any reason to use that as an excuse to get the venue moved. Okay, so that's where we are. Okay, these are the tricks Diddy's are trying. This is what's going on for the pre, and know every single day that is what Diddy's goal is. And to it, will it work? Probably not, because you put your own self in the situation. This is like me, like literally, like lighting my house on fire, then saying, "Oh my God, I can't." No, you're the one that did it. You have to go through with this. Okay. But there's more. Let's get into the other stuff with Diddy. Now, I do want to say this, right? After Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey broke up, of course, I took Lori Harvey's side because I always take the woman's side, like literally, I'll be sitting there and if someone's like, but was their grandfather involved? If I can't put it on the son, I'll put it on the father. Like, it's the men's fault, right? And I don't know either of them, right? However, after what we see in Diddy's trial, it actually makes me really, really laugh because Michael B. Jordan doesn't fear God. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Michael B. Jordan's name was brought up in the jury questionnaire. So is Lauren London's. And I'm going to tell you for what. But first, you want to listen to me ramble, right? So did Michael Myers, Austin Powers, and a few other people's names. A lot of celebrities' names came up. Now, I talked to a few legal sources. I talked to a few sources like what's going on. Let's talk about the Michael B. Jordan stuff, right? First of all, Michael B. Jordan, and this can be verified through the Rolling Stones. I believe Cheyenne Roundtree of the Rolling Stones, she's a big writer, actually verified this. In case y'all think I'm bullshitting, that Michael B. Jordan's name came up in Diddy's jury selection today. Now get this. Michael B. Jordan is not a witness. But Rolling Stone has learned he's referenced in Cassie's lawsuit as an actor that she had some sort of flirtation with. So back in 2019, Michael B. Jordan, and he's an actor that she had a flirty relationship with in 2015. When Diddy found out, he allegedly threatened Michael B. Jordan. So this is a year before Diddy blew up Kid Cudi's car. Cassie was being flirty with Michael B. Jordan. Diddy threatened Michael B. Jordan, okay? Cassie has verified this in her lawsuit that he is the unnamed actor. Now, here's the funny thing, right? As of now, Michael B. Jordan is not being called to be a witness. However, they have not put together the complete witness list. You can always put in last-minute substitutions that might change. But can I say something about Michael B. Jordan? Yo, Michael B. Jordan ain't scared. He is not a punk. He was making googly eyes at Cassie. Did he threaten him? He did not care. And then he went on to date Lori Harvey. Michael Jordan looked at Diddy and said, I dare you to blow my car up. I dare you to say you're goons. But isn't Michael B. Jordan from like Newark or Orange, New Jersey or something? He said, I'm about to show you what Brick City is. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan for on the low being like, baby, I ain't never scared. Listen, I thought that was like a really, really funny thing. Now, here's the thing. Lauren London's name was always brought up. People are saying, and again, there is only so much information I can get right now. Don't worry, there will be more because we must respect the sanctity of the legal process. However, Lauren London's name was 100% bought up. It is unclear whether Lauren would be on the witness list. Why? Everybody's keeping it very, very tight. Diddy already knows whether Lauren is on the witness list, okay? My sources say, what's the issue with Lauren and why is she there? Well, y'all remember that Lauren and Cassie used to be inseparable. Diddy, after Nipsey Hussle passed away, actually paid for Lauren London's security and helped her out with a lot of stuff. Nipsey, Lauren, Diddy, and Cassie, super, super tight. Peas in a pod. Okay. Now, I talked to one legal scholar and they were like, listen, there could be two things going on. And we need to account for both of them because this is a Super Bowl. So maybe we're doing the lead up. There's a chance that Diddy gets his celebrity friends to stand on the witness stand and say, yo, do a Carisha. Okay, maybe he treated Cassie bad. Maybe he treated victim 1, 2, 3, 4. I get it. But with me, what did Carisha say? He made me stand in my femininity. He made me feel like a woman. I said, baby, Carisha. Okay, right? But she said, they're saying that Diddy might want to get people that sit on trial, right? That sit there and get up on stand called as character witnesses. I never saw him be violent. He was always so generous. He was a nice guy. And here's the thing, it's a very astute and strong legal argument because let me look at the notes, right? It's a very astute legal argument because they said that at the end of the day, Diddy still does have fans and people are 100% starstruck. I even took notes. They said people are very starstruck. And if you can get people who people are like, oh my God, that's my favorite actress, my favorite actress, I really respect you, to actually say good things about Diddy, it might go far or give him more hope than what he would normally do with the jury. Now, here's the Lauren London issue, right? Here is the Lauren, here's the, oh, they also said, that's off the record. Okay. They also even said there are going to be some people that were involved in a lot of Diddy's freak offs that are not fans of Cassie, that do not think that she's that innocent and does think that she played a bigger role. It's complicated because why Diddy might have oppressed Cassie, these other people are saying that Cassie oppressed other people. Again, it's very, very complicated. That's why the feds want to bring in their own expert witnesses to explain about what victims of abuse, the way it goes. Let's also not forget that young lady, I told y'all about it months ago. Her name starts with a B. We now know it to be Bana, that Diddy hung off a balcony. People are saying that Diddy was very jealous about anyone Cassie was with, man or woman. And that Diddy may have looked at Bana as also a romantic rival. Now, again, these are the screamings of a lunatic high off a Tucci. But again, just because Diddy believed that, it doesn't make it true. I'm just telling y'all what Diddy believed. So let's get back to the Lauren London. Here's the thing, though. There is a chance that Lauren London could be testifying on behalf of Diddy, a la Carisha, please. He was a good man. He treated me well. After that, however, I put my ear to the street and I asked people, what do people like? What is Lauren London's like real deal? What is going on? And everybody that I asked about Lauren came back with a scoffing saying, there is no way. If Lauren London does testify and people think that she might be called as a witness to bolster Cassie because Lauren witnessed a lot of stuff that happened with Diddy and Cassie. And after Diddy broke up and Cassie tried to blacklist Cassie, because remember, Cassie still wanted her music career, Lauren London stood by her side no matter what. The people that actually know Lauren London said, there ain't no way. Lauren London is a real B. Quote, she is a down-ass California bee. And anybody that got friends from Cali know, Cali people are loyal. And Cali people will ride with you till the wheels come off and they don't care. They will be loyal and they will ride with you until the wheels come off. They are saying that there ain't no way that they think on God's green earth that what they know of Lauren London and the way she has been a good friend and loyal to Cassie through thick and thin, good times and bad, that we can't even, that she would ever get up there and bolster Diddy's credibility. And if Diddy's team plans to call her, they are stupid because Laura London is gorgeous. She is well spoken, but she is also down for Cassie. That is her friend. And she knows intimately a lot of the horrors that Cassie actually suffered. Okay. That little video in the hallway, they said is the tip of the iceberg. They say, if you think that's bad, that is nothing. That was a random Tuesday, literally Tuesday. So much so it didn't even phase Cassie. She showed up the next day at work, bruised up, this and that. That's how bad Diddy actually was and the way he was actually demonic. Okay. So Lauren London, her name was brought up to the jury. There's a chance that she will be witness, but they're saying that she may be a witness for the prosecution to bolster Cassie's claims. And they're saying that if Diddy's team is stupid enough to think that they can cross-examine and break her, it's just not happening. It's not happening. It doesn't matter what Diddy did for her when Nipsey died. It doesn't matter how much she's given. Lauren London knows who Diddy is on a deep level and how bad he treated Cassie and the way Cassie literally did leave with her life, luckily, and that's all. So that's what's going on with this, right? Listen, yeah, oh, thank you. So Michi says, not just that, Lauren has also been paid by Diddy for modeling for Sean Dawn. I get that, and I brought that up too. Lauren and Diddy have a business relationship. They had a friendship. They had a relationship. He stepped up with Nip. But that said, she is down for Cassie 100%. And if he does think that he can somehow flip her or whatever, that's just his stupidness. Let's get back into this. So what else do I have to catch you guys up on with this stuff? Okay, what else do I have to, hold on, let me get some of these super chats. B, so much, you guys. Give a shout out to the best mod in the world. B, thank you for being a member for 44 months. I've been on YouTube for 44 months. B's been rocking with me since the beginning. My friend, my buddy. Thanks, me, B. Thank you so much. Let's see, who else is 44 months? Wow, we have to celebrate. Okay, B, stop gifting memberships. My moderators cannot stop gifting memberships. Beverly Picard, make sure y'all say thank you to B. Used to be the sweetest girl. Say thank you. Fly Girl 517, Trinity, Love, and Fearless One. Make sure y'all give B a lot of love for gifting y'all some Tattletales membership. Also, during the trial, I will be doing exclusive lives for my members with the inside information before I bring it to y'all. Again, the trial hasn't started. This is just the tip of the iceberg. But baby, come to 12, y'all better lock the MFing in. Put your iPhone, put your AirPods in. You better go to Costco's, not Target, but you better go to Costco's and stock up on some Oreos to throw them kids for dinner. They ain't talking about nothing. They've been begging for Oreos and chocolate milk for the last month. Let them eat Oreos all next week. Your man ain't talking about nothing. Your girl been yapping about the same thing and the same problems from 3 weeks ago. We got to lock in on the 12th for the trial. Opening arguments is going to be good. So what else are we missing? Also, if you guys are into the Met Gala, I know I missed the Met Gala. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do it today. It's going to be first reaction. I didn't even watch the live stream, but we are going to go, and you know it's going to be fun and a roast. We are very versatile here. Okay, so let's get back into the Diddy stuff, right? This is directly from court reporters in a letter to U.S. District. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk about. Garagos. He thinks he's too slick. So let's get back to that gag order, because this is the one thing about Diddy. He is the epitome of how you gonna win when you ain't right within. Diddy is the embodiment of that. How are you gonna win when you're not winning? Diddy's team demanded a gag order, not just on their thing, but all the people that are testifying all have their own lawyers, okay? All the people that are testifying all have their own lawyers. Diddy's team screamed and yelled that you must, with that, not put a gag order on all of them. What does that mean? The lawyers aren't allowed to talk to the media in any way, shape, or form, okay? And on top of that, the clients can't talk, the witnesses can't talk, right? So all that stuff's going on, right? So how can I say this without giving up too much information? Well, let me just actually get to this. Diddy, however, always thinks that there is one rule for him and another rule for everybody else. Diddy, however, thinks he can do whatever the F he wants. And that is completely untrue. So what does that mean? It means actually that Diddy thought he found a workaround about the gag order he demanded. The judge just put the gag order on Friday, right? Because if not, I would have had every lawyer in there and the people like, sit down, let's talk. Do you want anything to eat? Order deliver whatever you want. You want a seafood boil? You want lobster rolls? Let's get it all. Anyway, let's chat, right? The whole point of the matter is also, if anybody is going to be in the trial and witnessing it, make sure y'all reach out to me, Tisa Tells, directly DM on Insta or tisatellsgmail.com. I would love to have you guys on, hear your experiences. But don't worry, I'm also cooking up something good too. I'm going to get y'all something homegrown. Anyway, Diddy just rehired Mark Garagos. Yes, Mark Garagos. His daughter is already working on Diddy's trial. He also got James Comey's daughter. Diddy has also been going out of his way to try to beg a Black woman attorney to represent him because he said, clearly somebody said like we did, you can't pull the race card with an all-white team because they don't understand the nuances. And Diddy hopes to get Black men and Black women like him across the jury. So it's kind of like you have somebody arguing a very real phenomena, but they don't understand the intricacies. So it's going to fall flat. Diddy finally secured a Black woman lawyer to actually represent him. She was one of the co-counsels for Young Thug. She has a really, really great record. Even though word on the street is Diddy literally put an all point and was willing to pay multi-millions to get a Black woman to represent him. He originally wanted 4 Black lawyers, women, to represent him. Ain't it funny how he's screaming, but he wants Black women to rally around him? He originally wanted 4 Black lawyers to represent him, and nobody would take. He was offering multi-millions, north of $2 million, just as like retainers. People are saying that he refused. Most people refuse. He finally did get one. Maybe he'll get more. Trial starting next week, so we'll see, right? But let's get back into Mark Garagos because this was some shit. Okay, Mark Garagos, in a letter to the U.S. District Judge Arun, right, Subramanian, filed Tuesday. That's today. Federal prosecutors have pointed out that Diddy's official 7-lawyer defense team appeared to consult with Mark Garagos during court proceedings Monday. Okay? Now, why is that important? Diddy actually has 8 lawyers. He announced that Mark Garagos would be his lawyer. However, Mark Garagos has not made an appearance in court. What is an appearance in court? He's been in court and he's listening and advising, but he has not made an appearance. Appearance is when you stand up and the judge says, all right, and it's like, yes, and you're like, Your Honor, Tisa Tells making an appearance for the prosecution. Tisa Tells making an appearance for the defendant. That's making an appearance. You formally let the court know, officially on record, that you represent that client. Now, Diddy did hire Mark Garagos. Why did he do that? Well, here's what the prosecution thinks, and it 100% agrees. Diddy ain't ish. Listen to this. During court proceedings on Monday, the prosecution was like, what do you think they're doing? They said that they have concluded that the media-savvy lawyer, Mark Garagos, known for representing high-profile clients such as Michael Jackson, Chris Brown, and the Menendez brothers, is acting as an advisor to Diddy. They said Mark Garagos recently spoke about the case on a podcast and teased that he would discuss it again in an upcoming episode. They said the need for the court's admonishment is this is the prosecution. The need for the court's admonishment is necessary, given that as recently as 3 days ago, Mark Garagos spoke at length about the trial in this case in his podcast called Two Angry Men. He has a podcast with Harvey Levin from TMZ. Remember when I told you that TMZ was deep on Diddy's side? One of Diddy's lawyers has a podcast with Harvey Levin. Harvey Levin has always given Diddy easy coverage. Even in the beginning, some of y'all were calling me liars when Harvey Levin was like, Diddy's not under investigation. Our sources tell you. And I was like, they're an MF and lie. They are 100% under investigation. Then they were saying that Little Rod's case will be thrown out. I said, it's an MF and lie. Little Rod's case is the blueprint they used to raid Diddy's house and know where to go. Then they kept saying all this stuff. Harvey is spinning, I believe, for Diddy's team because he is super tight with Diddy's team. But it goes deeper. That's not the only thing that came out. Mark Garagos was on his podcast with Harvey Levin, right? They have a dual podcast they do every week, saying that Harvey Levin is the creator and the owner operator of TMZ. The letter from prosecutor reads, the prosecutor called out Garagos' comments about the surveillance video recorded inside of the hotel. Okay. They said inside the Intercontinental Hotel that shows Diddy, doing what he did to Cassie in 2016. He said that the government's planned use of the video during the trial amounted to a character assassination. So why is this so big? Well, in legal circles, what Diddy's trying to do is very stupid, but it's also very disgusting. You demanded a gag order just like everybody did. You demanded a gag order. And then what is the first thing you did? You then had said that Mark Garagos was your lawyer. He is in court all the time advising you, listening to everything. He has access to all the prosecution letters, access to everything with the witnesses. He's acting as a lawyer, but he has not made an appearance in court. What does that mean? It means that Diddy is safe from the gag order as long as Mark Garagos is leaking information. You don't violate the gag order because Mark Garagos is leaking information. The prosecutor saw that and said, nah, we're not doing this. The gag order came out Friday. You literally talked about the whole case on Saturday on your podcast, and you talking about it with Harvey Levin. So basically, you think you're going to get in here, know everything that's going on in trial like you're a full lawyer, then leak information to TMZ, leak information to everybody else, and we just going to skip to our Lou? You must be out of your MF mind, Your Honor. No. He either makes an appearance or he has to get out of here. But you can't be an advisor because either that or we need to extend the gag order to even advisors, because this is Diddy basically trying to make it that he is the only people that have a powerful outlet. And as much as Diddy tries to act like, oh my God, everybody's talking about you. You got TMZ in your thing. You got access to the media thing with the New York Post, the Washington Times, the LA Times. Diddy, shut up. You are very, very powerful. And you think you found a workaround in the system. So it looks like Mark Garagos is either going to be excluded from things, or he's going to have to make an appearance, or they're going to extend the gag order because, again, Diddy thought he had a workaround. Now that we know that Mark Garagos is like this with Harvey Levin, they have a podcast, this and that, we need to actually look at TMZ's coverage as very, very skeptical, or at the very least, and I'm not saying they're lying, but you need to look at it as like, and everything body associated with TMZ, because, baby, this is all about connections in the money game. This is why it's good to be independent media. Hear me out. Independent media, y'all know, I'm giving y'all information. I'm giving y'all what y'all found, but I'm also giving you, like, this is my opinion. This is my opinion, and we can have a respectful conversation about it. And that's independent media. If you see me talking, Tisa's telling me what she heard. She's also giving me her opinion, and it's up to me to think whether whether Tisa is telling the truth or not. Right? I'm not asking anyone to believe me. I'm just saying, let's start a conversation. This is what I found out. What do you think? Right? However, legacy media, and not all legacy media, but a lot of legacy media is very, very, very dangerous. Why? Because they lead you to believe that it's this unbiased bastion. They lead you to believe that, they lead you to believe that they're a bastion of truth. They're unbiased. They're just doing this. They're just doing that. When at the end of the day, the same way y'all be thinking us on YouTube are all colluding and talking and this and that and it's just like a networking event. That's what legacy media does. And this is why legacy media is declining. They literally are trying to go to the people that have more money, where they can get beneficial relationships from, what they can do. Their concern is not bringing y'all the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Their concern is, how can we foster these relationships? And don't forget, these relationships aren't just with Diddy. It's for the team around him. It's for those other lawyers. It's for this. So when you go into a headline about should they be as brutal to Diddy as they could, but then they're like, wait, that's Mark Garagos. There's another client. There's another trial coming up. Oh, we might need to preserve this. That's when they start going easy and they start going light. Again, not saying that TMZ is going to print outright lies, but they have spun this Diddy situation several times to Diddy's favor. The only thing is the prosecutors have been involved and it just doesn't really look like it's going that way. Also, celebrity business. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that so much. Celebrity business. Also, Aisha, you are the girl. Thank you, Aisha La Violette Gambrel. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you guys so much and appreciate you, especially Mama. I really appreciate it. Also, where are we at? Am I missing anybody else? I think that's all the super chat. Now, here's the thing. Will Meek Mills be called to the stand? Who said that? Somebody said, will Meek Mills be called to the stand? I hope so. Listen, y'all can say what y'all want about Meek Mills. Listen, listen, Meek Mills cracks me up. He is literally rap's village idiot. I've never seen how someone can be such a talented, prolific rapper and also crack me up with the dumbness he be tweeting. Like, literally, Meek Mills cracks me up. I actually do hope he testify. I hope he comes with the straight backs. I hope he come with the Memphis dreams and nightmares, slide on that wood grain with the Pumas, like that little engine that could slide up to your block. And I hope he shows up on some dreams and nightmare, boy, slide up to your block. I hope he shows up with that, right? Listen, you also need to know that, will Kid Cudi testify? My people are saying 100% that Kid Cudi will deliver testimony of some sort. Now, here's the thing you guys need to realize about testimony. Testimony can be two things. Testimony can be a sworn affidavit, right? It can be a deposition. Affidavit is when you make a statement under penalty of perjury. Remember how of each trial when people be like arguing back and forth in media and I go to the court case and I'm like, well, no. Who literally signed a sworn affidavit under penalty of perjury? Because that is making testimony that can be used in court. You can lie all day on the internet. As long as when you get into court, everything you say is truthful, that's fine. So it's that sworn affidavit. There's also a deposition. Deposition is like a mini trial, but it's not a trial. But the other lawyer calls you in, and you have to sit in front of the lawyer and you have to explain everything to the lawyer. And the lawyer can question you. They can push back. Your lawyer's sitting right next to you. The other lawyer's sitting across, and they'll get into it. Like, so what'd you do? Did you do it? Did your foot hurt after you kicked Cassie? And then your lawyer will be like, relevance. Like, it's literally like cross-examination without the judge, but anything that is made off of that deposition can be entered in court because you say it under penalty of perjury. Penalty of perjury means that we find out you lying, that's your ass. And under state law, maybe they're not that strict of perjury, but under federal law and high-profile cases, they are 100%. 100% they take perjury seriously. You can go to jail for perjury for, I think, up to 5 years. Like, you can do jail time for perjury in a federal court. So going back to that penalty of perjury, there's also the third type of testimony. When you walk into court and you sit in the juror's box, right? When you sit into the juror's box, that is a third type of testimony. My sources have told me that Kid Cudi has already given sworn statements under penalty of perjury to the prosecutors. I do not know if he has been deposed yet. Diddy's team would have to request that, but I don't think that, I don't know if they want to do that. However, there is a high likelihood that he will also sit in the witness stand and give testimony. He will also sit on the witness stand and give testimony, but he has already given testimony that will be admitted into evidence. So we'll see on whether the prosecutors want to put him on stand, but he is standing 10 toes down with his assertions that him and Cassie had some type of flirtation, and Diddy actually, he believes under penalty of perjury that Diddy had his car blown up, and Diddy also did things to lead him to, and say things to lead him to confirm that it was Diddy that actually did it. Okay. Also, I don't know when this crazy rumor came that the prosecutors are not showing Cassie's video. In court documents, the judge actually said that the video is admissible. The video is 100% admissible. Diddy's team did argue that it was highly edited, but this is what I mean about that misinformation. And misinformation comes down, you need to look like who's associated with TMZ, who's associated with Garagos and all those other attorneys. Again, these relationships go deep, okay? The whole point of the matter is the judge has said in court documents that Cassie's video is 100% in evidence, and it can 100% be shown to the jury, and it 100% will be shown to the jury, and they have the original video. Even though Diddy said we think it's edited, the judge looked at them and said on court documents, we don't, I know for a fact it's fine. We're using it. Let's move on. So yes, Cassie's video will be shown, and it has been admitted into evidence, and it will be shown and used in court. And the judge believes that the copy they have is the original unedited copy. Now, hear this. The edited version, and that's what Diddy is saying was shown on CNN, where he looks bigger. No, you don't. I recognize that little skinny fat back anywhere, Diddy. No. And also, he said it was sped up, right? That won't be used in court. But the original video, and the original video is much longer and much more brutal. The original video will be shown in court. On top of that, I believe on the 12th, there will be a list of evidence. We'll get a full list of evidence, the evidence list, because it needs to be actually entered in. Okay. Listen, Maya, the DMV tutor, I just said that the prosecution will not be using the CNN version. Listen, when I talk about something, I'm talking to you guys like we've been on this journey together. The original version is not the CNN version. And that original version will be used in court. You can take that to the bank 100%. It will. The judge has already admitted it into evidence. Again, don't be, and this is what I mean about misinformation. Don't be fooled by these little sleights of hand. Oh, the CNN video won't be admitted. Okay, but the original will. So we actually don't need the CNN video. And the original video has even more information. CNN just gave us a little clip. The original video got so much more. I don't think it got sound, but it might even have sound. Let's also not forget that since that video is being admitted, who are they bringing to the testimony? They're bringing to the person that filmed it. It was somebody, people are saying from the security staff, that when they were watching the monitor, filmed what was going on the monitor on their iPhone. This is how Diddy was actually saying that. This is how Diddy was actually saying, oh, it might have been altered. And they were like, no, it wasn't. On top of that, and this is like a little T. This is a little T, okay? How did they know, and what did they think it on, that this was the original video? Even though Diddy was saying it wasn't? Well, remember when the feds raided Diddy's house? And remember when they took the server? And remember when all that was happening? Sources are saying that the reason they were able to say that basically the recording of the video, like the video was playing on the security screen and they were filming. That's very common in hotel security. That's how the Beyonce and Jay-Z Solange beatdown got leaked, right? Because the security knows when they see stuff with celebrities, they record. They're not supposed to, but they do. Well, they are saying that there was a copy on Diddy's hard drives that matched the video that was recorded on screen. So that's how they were actually able to say this is the original video. So Diddy did his own self in, and Mark Garagos and all these people running around in TMZ. Yeah, no. Again, you guys, we are about to enter the devil's lair, and I want you guys to know that they are going to be using sleights of trick. The CNN video wasn't admitted, but the original was. The original is even more powerful. They're also going to have the person that filmed that video and saw it in real time testify. They're also going to have people that were actually involved in the cover-up testifying. So we're good. We got the original. We got the people he made the deal with. We got another original on Diddy's hard drives. And we got the people that taped it, that saw it, that had to do all that stuff and sell it to Diddy. They're going to be testifying too. So after that CNN video, we got the original. You know what I'm saying? Listen, somebody said, I bet Jamie Foxx will take the stand as well as Albie Shore. Jamie Foxx could take the stand, but I don't know. Albie Shore, y'all really think that man be telling the truth? I don't know. Listen. I don't I don't think that Albie Shore will be testifying at all. I think that a lot of stuff Albie Shore says, he says on the internet. Albie Shore was never called in by the feds for questioning for anything. But then again, they did say, hear me out though, they did say that they're going as far back as the Kim Porter years. And there was something in the court thing that they said that one of the people who was abused by Diddy is no longer alive, and that shouldn't be allowed to do it. But the prosecution is saying, no, 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 you don't understand. We're not trying to prove that Diddy did DV to someone. We're not trying to prove that Diddy hit. We're not trying to prove that. We're trying to prove that the same way Cassie was treated, Diddy treated the one before, the one before, the one before, the one after, the one after, one after. And if we can establish that this is your MO, this is the way you treat women, this is the way you do, well, then what's the MF and problem? You see what I'm saying? That's what it was, right? I actually do think that the original, Pamela, I agree with you. I believe the original video is worse. It's longer. It shows more. Again, that was a snippet, but it shows more. And to me, for someone to, do you know how much rage you have to stay mad and hitting on somebody for over an hour? Like, I know everybody gets upset. I know if you handsy, but anybody that's been in a fight knows that after even landing 3 minutes of fighting, you are spent. You are exhausted. Do you know how much rage you have to keep hitting somebody viciously for an hour, then drag them back to a freak off and make them do what that thing do? Do you know the type of derangement and to me, if I saw somebody literally beat somebody for an hour, I'm like, you're a monster. You are a monster. This is about control. This is about submission. This ain't anger. This isn't a crime of passion. That's not even an excuse, but even it is, this is you just literally being out of your MF and mind. Listen, Ramon said it. Ramon said Diddy never thought he'd see the inside of a courtroom. If he could have predicted it, his behavior would have changed years ago. He got completely out of control because he thought he couldn't be touched. Ramon, I agree with you, but I would go to say for the people that know Diddy, his arrogance, you're right, he never thought he would get caught. Or more importantly, he never thought he'd be held accountable. He never thought he'd be held accountable. And now he is being held accountable, and he don't know what to do or when to do that, right? He don't know what to do. Listen, Rudolph said, I think at this point that Cassie video is a video seen around the world. Even if it's not shown, it is burned into everyone's minds. That's going to hurt him, shown or not. You guys, I'm telling y'all, you can take this to the bank. It's in the court transcripts. I agree with you, Rudolph. However, that original video that CNN showed a small portion of will 100% be shown to the jurors, and it'll 100% be shown in court. On top of that, there are videos of freak-offs that will be shown on court because some of the witnesses are actually in the freak-offs. Again, that server Diddy kept had a lot of freak-offs. It had the original Cassie video. That's how the government was able to make an argument that the other video that they have that the person took from the screen recording is the original version. They actually match. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all feel what I'm saying? Listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Listen, this is going to be a who's who. I am interested to say, because again, with these legal scholars, and I just want to say this, right? Because there's a bunch of, if you guys can't watch this whole live, I'm going to go back and make shorter videos today. You guys, I'm back. It's my Super Bowl. We're going to ride this till the wheels come off. But let me just say this, right? It is interesting that Diddy thinks that he can get Hollywood to come out and start making character things. Because I would say, who in their right mind would be attached to Diddy right now? Who in their right mind? If you get on the stand, we already know Kanye's West's butt is up there. Kanye up there talking about he maloloed his cousin until he was 14. Kanye already talking about him and Bianca are swingers, this and that. Remember when Kanye got on stage and thanked Diddy for teaching him everything he knew about how to find a wife? Remember? I'm going to thank Diddy. You raised me. You taught me everything I need to know about what to look for in a wife, this and that. I don't think he was talking about Kim. Back then, he was secretly married to Bianca. I do think that Bianca, because in the lawsuit against Kanye, one of Kanye's employees said that on the regular, Kanye would bring his friends to the Yeezy offices, right? They would go into the conference room. Bianca and her friends would get busy with the sloppy toppy while Kanye sat there and watched until he was pleased. Right? and they would be doing the sloppy toppy. They basically said that like Yeezy was like a freak show. Kanye did say that Diddy taught him that. I do 100% believe that Kanye is going to be one of the people on the tapes. I do think that's why Kanye is now trying, because here's the thing, Kanye used to be a lot smarter. I really do think that his brain is fried off that nitrous oxide. So a lot of like his little manipulations are just like very obvious, like a very little kid, but like a very like perverted little kid, right? Dangerous little kid. But I do believe that Kanye admitting what he did to his nephew, I do believe that Kanye, hold on really quick, y'all. I just got to turn my camera off for a second. I do believe that like what Kanye did to his nephew, I do believe that everything he's admitting about Bianca, hold on real quick. Please hold. Sorry, guys, I'm back. That was my DoorDash. Hold on, I'm walking to the camera now. That was my DoorDash. Apologies, everyone. So anyway, let me run back over. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, it was my DoorDash. Anyway, I do believe that one of the reasons that Kanye is making all these confessions and saying all this stuff is Kanye is trying to cover his own butt. Kanye is swamped right now with lawsuits. Him and Bianca were doing the weirdest, freakiest, dumbest stuff in the universe. And the thing is, like most, right? They don't want the people that's just like, yeah, let's get it on. They want the person being like, can you please leave me alone? Bianca was running up talking about, what's your views on Hitler? Literally assaulting, like literally affronting. Anyway, Bianca and Kanye are a mess, but I do think that Kanye is really, really worried about these legal proceedings. And I do believe that Kanye plays a bigger role than he wants any of us to believe. You feel what I'm saying? You know, listen, Liz. Listen, somebody said Louis Vuitton slashed their prices amidst the Chinese fallout from the. Let me tell y'all something. You know, I'm a woman. The men I've dated have given me like purses. I believe that purses and jewelry, that's for your man to get. I can buy my own shoes and clothes, but when it comes to like purses and shoes, I expect my man to like come through. You know, all the holidays, make some up if you need to, but come through. But after that, I'm looking at this luxury market stuff. Like, get the hell out. I don't care what y'all say. They get their labor, they get the tools, they get the leather from Africa and China. They get all the pieces. The fact that some French broad might spend 2 days stitching a handle, I don't care. I just want the quality. I'm off of designer stuff. I'm really just off. It's all BS. It's all BS. So you can walk in a room and other people that need possessions. And again, if you like designer stuff, that's fine, right? With me, it's just nah. It's like I'm gonna spend all my own. My man's gonna spend all the money for me to walk in a room because you need me to have a certain type of purse or shoes to respect me, or so I can feel better than you. And I'm not saying that's everybody. Some people really like designer, but I don't see the point of paying that. Do I want crap? No, but I will rock with like a quality purse, a quality pair of shoes. Like I don't care about those labels. Half the people that are literally fronting those labels, it's like, yeah, I don't need that. But that's just me. I'm not, do what you want. That's just me. Listen. Oh, somebody said everyone is forgetting about Laverne Cox. She was part of a stint on VH1. Are you talking about Diddy stint? No. Listen. I don't know. I don't honestly know. I do know. Listen, Eddie Kane said Cassie couldn't have left. She liked something. She could have left. I don't believe that. Listen, this is why we need experts in. I get it. I just know in the world, there's no such thing as a perfect victim. Like everybody wants to be like episode of Taken where they're chained. That's not how it works. Like if that was the case, that's like saying somebody that is like a prostitute being beaten by her pimp could have left. Yeah, technically we all have free will, but not really. Like when you look at humans and the way that it, when somebody is abused, when somebody is treated a certain way, when somebody's mind is messed with a certain way, it's very easy 95% of the time to predict how that person is going to turn out. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is an exception 10%. You went through hell. Oh my God, now look at you. You're the president of the universe. But these are the exceptions of the rules. Most people that grow up with alcoholic mothers, alcoholic fathers, when you look at the issues they have older in life, it's a spectrum, but they all deal with the same type of things. When you look at somebody whose mom or dad was on drugs or was abusive, they all grow up to have the same issues, just like, it could be dialed up to 10 or it could be dialed down to 3, right? So if we can believe that, right? Why can't we believe that in a relationship where somebody is sex trafficked and it's just modern day slavery, that they're all going to react the same ways? As human beings, instead of going crazy, our minds find ways to cope. You can look at Black people in America and the way under the oppression of racism, yeah, yes, there are tropes in how it affects negatively, but also in the way that we literally move forward and find a way not just to survive, but to thrive. There's no shame in saying that. Human beings, we are animals to a certain extent. And when you put everybody in the same situation, you're going to have the same outcome. If Cassie, once we get the whole story and not Diddy's thing about, oh, she liked it. Really, Diddy? She liked it. Okay. All right. All right. But once we get the full story about the atrocities that happened, not just to Cassie, but to everyone, I think it's going to and that's why Diddy's team was fighting tooth and nail to make sure that no experts could testify on the prosecution's beside, because the experts will be like, this is what happened with this. This is what happened this. We study victims of trafficking forever. We have a million case studies. This is what happens in these cases. And look over here. Same thing happened to Cassie. Same thing. It does not matter. That's like saying, take it, and I don't want to take it back to slavery, but that's like saying because one person is maybe better kept and their shackles are made of diamond bracelets, but they're still shackles, and somebody's in the field, we can argue whether, but they're both slaves. It doesn't matter whether one's dressed up. It does not matter whether Cassie was always in a car, always designer stuff, always the prettiest, always the best dressed at a party. You are still nothing but a dressed up, not even sex worker, because the sex worker has the will to do that. You are a dressed up trafficking victim. And yes, I look at Cassie the same way as I look at somebody in a potato sack that literally got to sleep on a straw bed. It's the same thing. The fact that there's all these baubles around it doesn't make it any less of a nightmare or a cage. It actually makes it scarier, because you see even this whole China thing, and I'm bringing this back to the bags, right? Even this whole China thing with the bags. People want to feel a part of power so much. And that's what those bags and those purses and those baubles represent. It's social status. I have so much money that I can spend it. There's a reason why every billionaire in the world, instead of building 1 billion schools and feeding the poor, they're shooting rocket ships up into the sky for 11 minutes and buying yachts and like luxury goods, because they would rather burn that money than help the next person. And when it comes, just hear me out on the luxury goods, that whole system, luxury goods, wealth, status, hierarchy. I get it. We're humans. Like, nobody wants to be at the bottom of the totem pole, no matter whether it's high school or whether it's in real life. But the whole point of the matter is, when you see the people that are so desperate for status, and they see Cassie maybe being slapped around or literally beaten so bad that the head of security looks at you and breaks out into tears. And they don't care because they got invited to a Diddy party. They got invited to a Bad Boy album release party. They're sitting there. They're showing all their friends. People are like, what, you know Diddy? Oh my God, can you take me to the party? That type of currency, that smell of power, being able to sniff the power, is worth so much that they will turn their head when they see another human being treated worse than a dog. No, shake the dogs. Again, that's how slavery happened. They were willing to overlook the fact that you had enslaved another human being because they benefited from it or they wanted to be around the money. You don't think the slave owners had groupies? You don't think the people on the plantation had people trying to climb into their beds? You don't think that they were the modern day celebrities that had the best parties? Oh my God, did you go to this slave plantation? Oh my God, they had this delicious invention called ice cream. No, it was frozen. It was like it was ice and snow, but tasted vanilla. You don't think those people had the grandest parties? You don't think that they weren't sitting there riding on their little horse and buggy that was sitting on 4 4s, like literally chromed out wheels? You don't think that? No, back then that was the money, the power, the elite, those parties. Presidents were begging to come to those parties. Think about it. That's the whole thing. But you use it. So the same people that were okay with the slavery and made excuses. Oh, I think they like it. I think that the same people that would do anything to covet power, even to overlook that people were raped and forced to breed like livestock. Even those same people, these are the same people that are willing to look the other way when they saw Cassie and all those other people being oppressed, because they were hoping that Diddy would either give them a few droplets of gold or they could get close enough to that social capital that they could bask in that same feeling as having designer goods and that designer bags get you, but on steroids. That's my TED Talk. That's my long, drawn out TED Talk. I don't care what y'all say. The Most High said, thank you for the super sticker, the Most High. What's up, Trishawn? Trishawn said one thing about Tisa, she got to get her Uber Eats. Yo, I'm off Uber. I'm on DoorDash. I'm sick of these well, no, I'm off of Uber Eats. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. Never come on time, this and that. You tell them the food's missing. No, I'm sick of Uber Eats. I'm on DoorDash, but I'm going to take a break from all of them. But I'm eating healthier stuff now. So it's good, you know? Yeah, listen. Again, listen. At the end of the day, you can believe what you want, but I've seen, and you can read now, the way people, for a drop of power, a drop of influence, to just walk into a party and see somebody that people love and admire being like, hey, Tisa, what's up? People will sell their left kidney. And they are willing to overlook the pain of someone else as long as it benefits them. It's the world we live in. It's very sad. It's very dark. But for everybody to try to act like now everybody is a knight in shining armor, there are women that like protect all women. Come on now. If that's the way it worked in the violent crime unit, the sex crimes unit in every single city, state, country, nation around the world would not actually exists. So it's kind of like, I'm gonna need y'all to be real about the evil that lies in the hearts of men. That's all. I'm not saying everybody's evil. I'm not saying I am saying that y'all need to be real about the evil that lies into the hearts of men. Y'all can believe it's a money grab, but can I just say something? Do y'all know how brainwashed and this is the thing, listen, comrade, listen, let's have some working class solidarity. Do y'all know how crazy it is that y'all are working class people talking about something? It looked like a money grab to me. No shit, sure. Like, welcome to the world. Welcome to the world. The fact that every billionaire in the world don't give a F about anything. They just want their money. Just give me my money. They just want their money. And they don't care whether you owe them 5 cents. They want their 5 cents. They want a pin to the penny. Not pay your landlord 1 penny. You think he letting you slide? Not pay their bank. Overdraft your account by 1 penny. Tell Amazon, I'll give y'all 3 cents tomorrow. Can you just let it slide and see what happened? Countries, nations, business, industries, power. How do the people get? First, you get the money. Then you get the power. Then you get the respect. The fact that no one that has power in this world, and when I say power, I mean a very Western version of power, not the spiritual power, not the power of love. Stop it. I'm talking about the Western version of power. Might, skill, right? Nobody that has power in the West has gotten it without getting money. And they all know that the way to get power and the way to take power is to take money or resources. That's how we got into this whole colonial nightmare that is right now destroying America. And the fact that these rich people have convinced you that there's some type of honor in being a victim, calling someone out, and then you should be happy with an apology. Do you know how stupid that sounds? Do you realize you have been brainwashed in that for them, money's everything? Because at the end of the day, they know money is power and they never want to give up a penny because if you give up the pennies, that's where their power gets taken away. And they have convinced you that if you need to be noble, if you need to be real, if you need to be someone believable, if you've been injured by them, then you don't deserve money. No, only bad people want money. Go to church and pray about it. Only bad people have money. If you were a real victim, you would just want an apology. The people that only care about money and that have sold their left kidneys to get money and the power that comes with that money have convinced you that when you hold them accountable, because they're rich and powerful, the way you really prove you're a real victim, and mind you, these are working class people saying this, which is the most embarrassing. You repeat in the brainwash, the way you can convince them that you're a real victim is by taking I saw we. No, baby, if you want to hurt someone, you look at what they value and you take that away. Diddy valued his money. Diddy valued his power. So if you want to hurt Diddy, an apology don't mean nothing. We saw that apology video he made for Cassie and then 3 business later said, no, I take it back. There was more to the story. Words don't mean ish to those people. Nothing means anything except the money in their bank account, which is the reason they have their power. And that's all they care about. And if you really want to be on some David and Goliath stuff, right? You literally take your slingshot and hit them where it hurts, which is their pockets. Again, y'all, working class people, we got to wake up. We got to wake up. How did a whole system built on money convince you that money isn't an adequate punishment? And if you go for money, for someone violating your mind, your body, your soul, and leaving you with a generational curse that you're going to have to work and be in therapy every third Sunday for the rest of your life to make sure you don't pass it down to your children. Somebody convinced you that after they violated your body and you lay in bed hating yourself so much that you're forced to drugs, alcohol, wine, loose men or women, whatever you into. They convince you that you don't deserve monetary compensation in the United States of America when this whole MFing country is built on money. Y'all fools. I can't. Listen. Baby, do what you want. I know me. If anybody ever violated me, you better. They gonna name whatever you own. They're gonna rename it New Tisadom. I'm taking every MF thing you own. But your kids don't have money to go to school. F those kids. I don't care. I'm taking everything you own, and I'm gonna make you lay in the bed the same way I did, crying over your dollars and money and everything you lost, just like I did. And the fact that as working class people, y'all are repeating these tired narratives that the ruling class has instilled in your mind through what it is to be an honorable person. Rich people don't know honor. Oh, it's an honorable person. No, I could have, but I said no. Let the rich people be able to put you on the ground and see if they don't. You have to meet people, and I'm not saying change the way you are, but you have to meet people where they're at. And if you're trying to make somebody punish them and make sure they don't do it again, you hit them where they hurt. You hit them where they're hurt. And you can understand that somebody standing up in a criminal court and saying, I saw we, is not enough. When you violate somebody and that they have to go to jail, you can understand taking away someone's freedom because the I saw we isn't enough. But yet, when somebody's like, all right, I don't have the power to take you to jail, but I'm going to take your money and put you in a mental prison, all of a sudden, oh, it looks like a money grab. Do y'all hear yourselves? Where's the working class solidarity? Do y'all hear yourselves? And listen, and the elite put these messages even in all forms of organized religion. Why is it every single organized religion tells every poor person that if they just suffer in silence, their reward is the kingdom in heaven? Now, that may be true that if you live a good life, your reward is in the kingdom of heaven. But do you think that all the rich people are acting like this is all propaganda? And there ain't no reward. Do you see what I'm saying? Anyway, Ahmed L, thank you so much for being a member thank you for putting a member. And here's what I am saying too. If you still believe because of all the brainwashing religion and the elite have put in your mind that it's dishonorable, that your body, your mind, your trauma is not worth a penny of their money, that is your business. Go be happy. It's not my business. But I will say, who are you guys to sit there and judge people that's just like, no, you MFing right. You better run me that money. It isn't. Why can't somebody come out and be like, this is absolutely a cash grab. I'm going to take every penny you absolutely own. This is what you know what it is. Put the fries in a bag, bro. You know what this is. This is a cash grab. Yes. Why is there shame in saying this is a cash grab? I'm taking all your money. I want everything. Put the fries in the bag. Stop playing with me. Why? Why is that? Why? Ask yourself why you're so uncomfortable with the fact that your trauma and body is not worth their money. Ask yourself why. Because money's, like my dad always said, money's the cheapest thing in the world. You can always earn more money. Everybody wants it. Everybody has it. It's something that's very, why? There's only one you. So again, that's just my opinion, right? Listen, Diddy needs to pay a price. He's paying criminally, but also he needs his bank accounts, because you really think that he'll care that much while he's in jail if he still have 100 million in a bank account? You really think he'll be that hurt? If he knows that his kids can keep living the life that he wants them to, if he knows that when he gets out, because he will get out probably in like 10 years for good behavior, if he gets out, again, do what you want, believe what you want. But I think, who are you to judge somebody when they say my body was worth money? Who are you? Now you're saying you have to sacrifice, and you're telling everybody else they got sacrificed too because the shit you heard in church, or the shit some ruling elite, they brainwashed you? Nah. Listen, after found guilty, they can and will file a civil suit. Listen. Again, anyway, it sounds like a money grab to me. Yo, put the fries in the bag, bro. Just come on, wrap it up. I don't got time for this. Yes, welcome to America. I'll explain capitalism for you guys next thing. Again, listen, get your money. And if you're a victim, get your money. Get your money. Listen. Listen, exactly. No, baby, me? No. You lay a hair on my thing. I don't care. You can live stream not having enough to feed your family, baby. I'm taking everything I can from you. No, not listen. Anything else we can talk through, but you violate me? Sorry, it's done. It is done. Listen. Anyway, you guys, listen, let me get out of here. I'm going to make some more videos. Everything we talked about, I'll make them into shorter videos. And as it gets up, your girl is back. We having the Super Bowl. Also, I'm going to be live in about an hour with the Met Gala. Yes, we are having roast and reactions. Your girl was busy yesterday. However, I have been dismissed. So we can get busy today. We're going to act like this is just Monday all over again. All right. Anyway, y'all, listen. And also, yeah, I'll talk to y'all soon.